inequalities in the lives of our people. My vision for this office is to establish a student representative council which has always been guided by a strategic plan into the future. This would be achieved by putting into place a full working force of all the arms of government of the SRC. Our able Vice President has been working with a team consisting of university professors, our student leaders, past student leaders, to be able to draw a strategic plan for the future of what our KNUST SRC should be. Mr. Speaker, many are the successes this administration chalked last semester. The setting up of the SRC Academic Counseling Unit with the help of the KNUST peer counselors, the successful launch of the KNUST 60th anniversary, the distribution of the food bank, which has covered over 1,300 students, and then consideration and preparation for the second phase has already commenced. The distribution of the SRC branded nose masks, which was championed by the SRC health officer and his able team to be able to help our students during the examination period with the supply of COVID-19 nose masks. We also led the negotiations for the donation of 2 shuttles for disabled students to be able to help them transport them from their residence, the halls of residence, to the academic area through and through throughout the entire semester. And then the same project is continuing this semester, and then we hope that it stays throughout within KNUST. We have also begun discussions towards improving the off-campus security. This particular issue became of public discussion when the KNUST SRC released their semester budget, and then students continued to ask what we were doing to make sure that the livelihood of our people living off campus is always under good protection or is always going to be better. What we have done this year is that in collaboration with the KNUST Cadet Corps and the Head of Security, we've been able to have a series of meetings with the KNUST SRC Watchdog Committee, which comprises of known faces and people who live within the communities of our off-campus environment. And then these people are going to be branded in shirts in vest, which is going to be labeled behind KNUST Community Volunteer. These people are going to be duly equipped such that during examination period, during periods of late hours, if our students ply the routes at off-campus, when they meet these people, they are going to be in safe hands and they are going to be escorted to every destination that they want to find themselves. We also had the shuttle expansion program where we employed the faculty, departments, and college buses to be released during the examination period so that students will be bused from their halls of residence to their academic areas at ease. We also led discussions for the decentralization of tutorial sessions with the help of students' academic boards. We're able to make sure that at every faculty, at every college, with the help of the KNUST SRC academic board, we're able to decentralize their tutorial sessions such that students were going to have the impact of the studies that they do or preparations that they have prior to their mid-semester examination and then the end of semester examination. At the Trade and Technology Committee, that is STRATEC, we had the opportunity desk that was created at the SRC Secretariat and then the KNUST Innovation Hub, where students were able to go there and then sought for opportunities for their careers and then their enterprise. We also did COVID-19 distribution of items where we had hand sanitizers, COVID-19 campaigns, and then a lot more being done on KNUST campus to make sure that the livelihood of our people is always a priority to us. This is just to mention a few, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the Vodafone data package, we as an administration had negotiations with the university management, the Office of the Dean of Students, the UITS, and the leadership of Vodafone Ghana to be able to have a cushion of data package for our students in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. It has become a problem to our students ever since we had to shift from the face-to-face academic tutorship to the face-to-online academic tutorship. Our students have complained bitterly of using their own monies to be able to buy data, purchase data, to be able to access Zoom lessons and then their online classes. As an SRC, we hold in high esteem the success that has been able to chalk out of this particular negotiation. And then we believe that the coming of the 5 gigabyte data and then its Vodafone components is going to bring a lot of relief to our students in their academics, in their social life, and then whatever they want to do on KNUST campus here. We have also had discussions with MTN to be able to subsidize their data package that they have with students. GRASAG has already started enrollment of this particular policy, where with 20 cedis as pay as you go, you'll be able to purchase 8 gigabyte data from MTN. SRC is also in communication with the leadership of MTN to be able to roll out this policy for our students before the semester comes to an end. We have had discussions with the Office of the Dean of Students, and then at the SRC Secretariat, at the Ozone Block, the SRC discussion area is under refurbishment. And then we hope that by the end of next month, the discussion area at the SRC Secretariat will be opened and then accessible to all and sundry on KNUST campus as we prepare for our mid-semester exams and then our end-of-semester examination. Mr. Speaker, in the course of the vacation and the early part of the semester, together with the executives of the local NUCs and then the elected SRC executives, appointees, and some members of parliament, we led a delegation to the USAG and NUCs congresses respectively, where we presented 6 KNUST students for offices, and they all came out victorious. We had, in order, Yadon Boachi Emmanuel emerging as the NUCs president-elect. We had Chairman Opon Daniel as the NUCs Secretary for Education-elect. We had Frank Toko as the USAG General Secretary-elect. We had Derek Tindana as the USAG Press and Information Secretary-elect. We had Poku Diafrank as the USAG Financial Controller-elect. And then last but not the least, we had Emmanuel Beidu as the USAG Information, the IDRS Secretary-elect. Mr. Speaker, earlier this semester, through Parliament, we had successfully passed the UNRC Act and Constitution that was approved by which approved the IDL Constitution, the Obuasi Students Representative Council Constitution, and the KNUST SRC Constitution has also successfully been revised to meet the current demands of our time. During the latter days of our campaign, Mr. Speaker, we made a pledge before God and man to also make a donation towards the building of the XCC temple when we are elected into office. So, Speaker, it is worthy to note and then to also inform the honorable members of this House that at the first SCC of the semester, we fulfilled this promise and donated a check worth of 125 bags of cement towards the raising of the SCC temple. Mr. Speaker, together with the KNUST Cadet Corps and then our head of security, the Obuasi Cadet Corps has also been successfully launched. Recruitment has happened over the past month, and then we are looking forward to having them also fulfill their mandates clearly as we do here on KNUST campus. Mr. Speaker, we hold a lot of pride when it comes to our security issues and how KNUST Cadet Corps is able to showcase the knowledge that they've gained over their years of service on KNUST campus. We hope that further SRCs that come in the years will be able to commit much resources towards this course so that KNUST will be able to hold in high esteem the brand, the good name, and then the service that we render to the university and then to the nation. Mr. Speaker, in the coming days, the SRC will hold an academic ceremony where we will donate 50 laptops to students who have been interviewed by a panel that has been set up by the university, which comprises of management and then of student representatives towards the support one needy student with one laptop project. That is the Vice Chancellor's initiative. So we hope that this ceremony will award students the laptops that the SRC has purchased for the donation to be done to help our students during this difficult time of COVID-19, and then for them to be able to pursue their academic work. Mr. Speaker, together with some members of Parliament, the KNUST SRC security heads, the Kenton Krono MP surveyed their environs, and then we identified that within the stretch of the Agric Junction to Gaza, there's a need for the SRC to install street lights, and procurement of 15 street lights has already been made, and installation is going to commence as soon as possible. To be able to aid students who ply that route, who drive through that route at night, to reduce the insecurities around those environments. Mr. Speaker, this year, due to COVID-19, as an SRC, we have decided to channel some of our funds in purchasing a bus for the SRC, which will help reduce the transportation crisis that we have within the university. It is not going to end or bring an end to our transportation crisis, but then we hope that the purchase of this bus is going to go a long way to help our students, transporting them from the off-campus environs to their academic areas. And then the SRC is committed in channeling funds into this particular avenue, so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to say that 60 years of our existence, the SRC has been able to help alleviate most of the problems that our students face in their academic life. Mr. Speaker, it has just been 4 months and a half into our administration. We see that the Lord has always been good to us. The Lord has been faithful to us. The Lord has led us to be able to do what many have not been able to do in such a shorter period. Mr. Speaker, this evening, we still feel proud of what we've been able to chop within this short tenure in our office. We'd employ our students to continue to communicate with us. We'd employ our students to continue to seek redress with the SRC. We'd employ our students that there is no issue that is above discussion. As your leaders continue to advocate, speak, stand and defend our cause, we'll continue to stand this path, and then we'll continue to make sure that dialogue yields the results that we are looking for. Mr. Speaker, during the course of last semester, as an SRC, we advocated that students' names should not be pasted on notice boards. Students should not be disenfranchised from partaking in examination. Mr. Speaker, this negotiation became fruitful, and the university withdrew their actions to be able to paste students' names on notice boards. But then, Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the debt of the university continues to increase. Statistics has been shown to us, the SRC, and then the university has implored that students who have the money should endeavor to pay their fees. They should be able to give us, the SRC, the negotiating power to be able to make sure that students who are found in the category of not paying their fees as at the deadline of the university will not be made to face any rigorous policy or any rigorous rule in the university. It is our commitment to continue to defend the cause of students. I will employ our students that if you have the money, do well to pay the fees, and let us be able to save the few who are truly handicapped. Mr. Speaker, I remember some years back when we sat in the seats at this particular ideal, where we also shared and deliberated on issues concerning KNUST and then the SRC. Today, when my able Vice President and the entourage entered the auditorium, I saw a lot of empty seats, and then it reminded me of the time when I resigned from being the Member of Parliament for College of Science, that is Science Students Association, to be able to contest for the SRC presidency. Would say that KNUST, SRC, and its student leaders continue to give their best. Would implore that the remaining members of Parliament here will give their best on deliberation. You have done tremendously well with the democratic processes that you have started for KNUST-SRC. And then myself and the elected executives who want to say thank you very much. We are proud of you. We are proud of this parliament. And then we hope that it is going to end well and end in praise. Mr. Speaker, as we conclude, we'll say that with God on our side, we shall continue to smile at the storm. We are not giving up on the SRC. We are not ready to give up on the SRC. The commitment we have made that KNUST-SRC will be the best in Ghana and be the best in West Africa is still on course. And then we believe that God will not give up on us either. Long live KNUST, long live the SRC, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The room seems very tensed. I know a lot of us are very tired, but I know the right magic to work at the right time. And so I'll give in a space of about 5 minutes. Gamsukwa, please help us with some interludes, after which we proceed with public business. Thank you.
Oh, minyamye. Minim your bedroom, Saposa so chirpa, Sahumusutra, Jesus, our banco. Oh, minim, Yamachinazo, Musura, Muchu, Jesus, oh, Sasa chirpa, Sahumusutra, Jesus, our banco. Minim your bedroom, Saposa so chirpa, Sahumusutra. Jesus, oh, God. Oh, minimo. Sasa cherpa, Sahumusutra. Jesus, oh, God. Saposa so chirpa, Sahumusutra, Jesus, oh, God, Samuchuno.
All right. Thank you very much, Gamsukwa, for that wonderful interlude. We'll now ask for the clerk to introduce the dignitaries that we have here for us. Madam Clerk.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay, please, I would like to introduce our guest to you. First is the SRC Women's Commissioner, Ms. Rabiatu Siaka. You're welcome, Ms. And next is the SRC Financial Secretary, Osei Fosu Samuel. Osei Fosu Solomon, sorry. My apologies. Next, I would like to introduce our national executives. And in our midst, we have National NUKS President-elect Yadom Boachi Emmanuel. We also have in our midst National NUKS Secretary for Education with Chireme Opon Daniel. And they came along with their friend Ado Amiel Emmanuel. That's all. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, before we proceed, I'd like to, Mr. President, I'd like to ask that you deliver a small address to the House. Then we'll proceed with the public business. So I'll invite the President-elect of NUKS National, His Excellency Yadom Boachi Emmanuel, to deliver an address.
Good evening. Aluta continua. Aluta continua. Good evening once again. I'm very honored to be here this evening. At least to come before you, this honorable and our guest house. And to begin with everything, I'll first appreciate your support and everything that you showed, the love, the unflinching support, and everything that you did for us during the just ended elections on the 3rd of May 2021 in Accra. I would say this wasn't a formal something, but once the invitation came through from our speaker, I have to honor it. Now, we are done with elections. We are yet to be handed over to, but I know definitely we've scheduled a date of 24th June. That is about 2 weeks ahead of us, 24th June. We'll be having our official swearing in. But before we do the official swearing in, there's something that I would plead and seek from you. I think as leaders, maybe at some point, the shoes that Samuel Sessa will be wearing will be entirely different from the shoes that our hall executives and college executives will be wearing. And then it will be also different from the ones that we at the national level will also be wearing. So at any point in time, I know that the various unions deal with we the student leaders at the various local institutions, and without your support and everything, trust me, there's nothing that we can do. There were times that student leaders, past and gone, needed the full support of their constituent to embark on a very important journey. But since we couldn't get all of them, or since student leaders from the various local institutions weren't ready and available to give them the maximum support, whatever that the motive of the student leaders were, it couldn't materialize. So on this day, I'll call for our maximum support in everything that we do. It wouldn't just be Yadomboachi Emmanuel alone, but our leaders from USAG, ISRC executives as well. Because without your support, there's nothing that we can do. And without your support, we would just be leaders but with no root. We wouldn't take much of your time since there's much for you guys to discuss and do. I will end by wishing you guys the best of luck in everything that you would be discussing here. And then I think there are some empty spaces, and I heard our president talking about it. And I'm hoping and praying that all empty spaces here do get their heart desires. Thank you very much for your time once again, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Master Emmanuel Yadomboache. So before we move on to members of parliament for your addresses, I'd like to reiterate on a number of things that the president said during his during his speech, when he was delivering his speech. And so on the matter of the data, I think Prezo made mention, but the atmosphere was a bit calm, too calm for me, with the mention of the additional 8 gig from MTN Ghana that is going to be given out soon. That is pay as you go. I think it will be our responsibility to help make our constituents aware of this. And I think it's going to be something that is going to really help support the fight or the agenda that has already been set. Then again, on the matters of the constitutions that this parliament has done, I think we've left a very great legacy, and it is very evident. One thing I'm particularly very happy about is the rate at which the interest of members of the university junior staff was raised for the UNRC elections. In previous years, you'd have people run unopposed for all these positions. But in a record, there were 23 people contesting for the UNRC positions this year. I think we deserve to give it up to ourselves because we have managed to raise that interest among the students now. Then on the SRC constitution, it is pending submission and approval from the University President's Board. But there are a lot of additions that have been made. One very important addition I'd like to highlight on is the integration of the KNUST Army cadets, the KNUST cadets into the SRC. And so now the commander-in-chief of every year's cadet is going to be the automatic SRC head of security. This was done so that they can join the UNRC, the non-residential MPs, and help, especially with matters of security off campus. I think this is in the right direction, and we'll be able to also employ the services of the entire cadet in helping address matters of security. This is definite actions that are being taken to make sure issues such as this are resolved. Then again, on the matter of school fees, see, when student leaders are given the task to negotiate for students, usually at the administrative level, try as they may, because the pressures are mounting, they will have to comply and help alleviate the problems of students. But then again, you realize that if after you negotiate, you are not able to meet your end of the deal, you give them the chance not to listen the next time. And so if at the point the university was asking students to pay their fees, you're not going to allow them write exams without payment, and the SRC advocates and they allow you, then now you decide not to pay at all, it will be very difficult for the next SRC administration to go and negotiate on matters of school fees. And we know the university is run with huge money on a daily basis. And so once again, it is up to us to make our constituents aware that this is what is going on. The SRC, the leadership, we all worked and made sure that your names were not published, that you were given the comfort to work. And so after doing this, please make sure you also meet your end of the bargain. Please pay your school fees. So I'm hoping members will take this message to their constituents and make sure that it happens. Finally, counting on support of constituents, I think this administration by far has done extremely well, considering the number of months that they've had to work within 4 months. And anytime the president comes here to deliver a speech, I pick a pen, not to say I do not know his achievements, but I try to see if I can keep up and write every one of them before he's done. And on every single occasion, it's difficult for me to keep up, because by the time I realize he's moved on to a different one altogether. And so within 4 months, all these have been achieved, and it has been by virtue of the support from you. The backlash, the pressures were high, but it is also good for our governance. And so when good things are done, let us promote them so that we can revive the trust of students in leadership on campus. So I'm hoping that with this, these achievements, all these things that have been done in terms of advocacy, we'll take it down to the students and let them know that this is what the SRC is doing. This is what we as leaders in Parliament are doing. And so when we come to you asking that you support us to fight for you, please give us the needed support. So I'm hoping we take this message down to them. Thank you all so much. I will quickly move on to take addresses from members of Parliament. Please be as brief as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in the person of Honorable George Evans, TJ, the member of the member of Parliament for Campus and then the non-residential purpose head. I think everything has been stated clearly by the first gentleman and the third gentleman of this honorable university. There's a lot that has been done. There is more to do. And I'm very grateful that there's been the support of all the honorable members within this parliament and then all appointed executives within the SRC. For the UNRC, we've moved quite a step from not being so recognized within the university to being, if I can say, a household within Parliament in itself. I thank you very much for your work that you've helped us do, and then I hope to do more with you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker of the House, my name is Oyet Victory. I am the President. First things first, I want to say a very big congratulations to the SRC President and his team. They've done a very great job. I also want to bring everybody here greetings from all international students here on KNUST-TEK campus. We've been very fine. We've not faced any hiccups of recent. Also, we've made some few donations actually to the medical student, Mr. Solomon. He had some scoliosis and he had surgery. So the association donated 5,000 CDs to help that. And then we also made a donation to the food bank today. Just a few items. Other than that, it's all. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, good evening. I'd like to commend the SRC President for his work. For Obuasi Campus, right now the Sports Commissioner, with the aid of the SRC President, is training a student for a competition with UMAT Kappa. So we have the football team, the basketball team, and the volleyball team training assiduously to go and beat UMAT. Yes. So it will be between Winneba, UMAT, and Obuasi Campus, KNUST. And also, we are done with our departmental vetting, and God willing, tomorrow, SRC vetting continues. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker of the House. Honorable Jabo Osaina Andrew is my name. MP for Bonsoro constituency. Mayor, His Excellency Samuel Sessa. Ejumapeja Uru Akwai. To go on, or to move on, I can foresay the Waton Aberwadano, and no name said the Akokraje. The one who has sold an old woman before knows the price for an old man. Mr. Samuel Sessa, you once lived in the Bomso constituency, and you are aware of the situations on the grounds as at now. I'm very worried about the access control gates. The function for this mechanism is no more needed, because at first we used our various student ID cards to operate, but currently we are not doing that. We operate it manually, and about 70 to 80% of the pillars or the poles we hold to pull this mechanism is no more there. So are we sitting there, or are we waiting for someone to get hurt before leaders will act prudent? Please, with all due respect, His Excellency, please work on this to us for us. If they are going to make it in the mechanism, we fine. Or better still, they should remove it so that we can have our free and flow movement in the constituency. And lastly, the volunteer service in my constituency is not functioning as at now. I had a chance to talk with the head of security, and this service is not running. So since you mentioned it today, or you hammered on today, please make it actualized in my constituency. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I will start with some remarks to your office, Mr. Speaker. There are few times members of Parliament acknowledge your efforts and the inputs you put in parliamentary duties. There are times that we felt weary, and with your adroit ideas, you pulled us along. So I would want to appreciate you for that. And to Mr. President. Mr. President, there are times people said the Honorable Kote MP doesn't like you because we bring out issues that people think are against your office. But I remember in your first State of SRC address, you talked about the 5 gigabytes data. And in your second State of SRC address, I drew your attention to the fact that the students have not heard anything with regards to it. And now you talk about this in full implementation. We thank you for that. But I have another concern, Mr. Speaker. In your second State of the SRC address, you made a point that I stated in our first sitting, that the off-campus traffic light system was going to be installed. And Mr. Speaker, in your recent address, I didn't hear anything about it. So I would want to know updates on that. Thank you.
We'll proceed to the college caucus. Members of the college caucus, a number of our members who were present seem to have moved out of the house. And so protocol had kindly prompt members who are outside to kindly move into the house, into the chambers. All right, let's go on. Right Honorable.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker of the House, my name is Uwobi Joshua Payne, Member of Parliament for Hessa constituency. So we're able to roll out our Somiso Fund, and due to COVID, the allocation for the fund was increased. So we had most people applying. There was 95% of the people who applied got their monies. It was extended to health science students in the Boise campus as well. So early part of this semester, we also had a seminar on study opportunities in the USA. We did it in conjunction with the education unit of the US Embassy. We had a joint health screening with the SRC. The following week, we had a joint health screening with KNUST-TEK local. We've also launched our GEMX student exchange program, which will help students have opportunities to study with other students outside the country in their preferred courses. We've also rolled out our mass registration of passport, where we have the BNI and the immigration coming here to fill the forms for the people to facilitate the process. Then we've launched our HESA to Dubai as well. And we've also launched our HESA Health Center to help students who are going through all sorts of problems. We've made the counselors accessible to them in each of their classes. I think most students go through a lot of stuff, and since we've brought the counselors to them, it will help them in the long run. So these are some basic things that we've done. In the course of the semester, we'll roll out what we have to do. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, the House. First and foremost, I would like to apologize to the Honorable House for attending the gathering late. We had certain activity that we need to perform, so we ask for your forgiveness. Okay, to begin with, at Kabisa, this semester we've worked tirelessly to make sure that there is a Senate in Kabisa. Through our efforts and also the able leadership of the Speaker of Parliament, we've been able to secure an approval which was unanimously endorsed by this House to have a Senate at Kabisa. So this is one of the hallmarks we've been able to chalk this semester. Also, we have started proceedings on a tree planting exercise. Hopefully, we are very happy that this idea of planting trees was adopted nationwide. And as we voted today, we couldn't join the nationwide planting, so we'll be doing our tree planting, God willing, next week, Friday, and on Saturday. So I'll use this opportunity to plead with members of the House and all who are around to join us when we embark on this exercise. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Honorable. Honorable Dorinda.
Good evening, the Speaker, the House. My name is Honorable Dorinda Delani from Kabisa constituency. First of all, I'd like to commend the SRC on providing the 5 gigabytes data, which we nearly lost hope, but we know we have an able SRC, which is always there for us to defy the odds. Secondly, I would like to commend the Parliament to our able Speaker and then the parliamentarians. They've helped in doing a whole lot of things this semester, like helping us to approve the Kabisa Senate. Moreover, in my constituency, we've done a few things this semester which I would like to touch on. We had a Wabi 360 seminar, a seminar where we invited prominent people to come and talk to the ladies in the college about basic things that we need to know as ladies coming up. And then we had a skills fair, which we trained the ladies on hair making, yogurt making, and a whole lot. Moreover, we've rolled out our bursary forms to help needy students in the college, since we know that all of us are not the same. Some are from good homes and others do not. And then we've been able to bring out a database system where we'll be having our bulk SMS system, yes. So basically, these are the few things that we've done in Kabisa so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Honorable Ikiadonko.
Mr. Speaker, the House. My name is Honorable Josephine Ikiadonko, Member of Parliament for Kos constituency. To begin, I must say that I am pleased with what the SRC executives have done and what they are still doing, especially with the fact that measures are being put in place for the safety of students who live off campus. I mean, our lives are more important than anything else. I would also like to touch on some of the things that course has done so far. We interviewed students who applied for course Boafo Fund, and in due time, they are going to receive their benefits. We also had our course vetting and a peaceful election. We organized a program with the U.S. Embassy, dubbed Education USA, where students were educated on how to apply for free scholarships in the U.S. We also had a program dubbed the She Power to empower ladies. Yes, so that is all for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in the person of Jacobine Audru, Member of Parliament for Kanasa constituency. To begin with, the Women's Commissioner of the College held a one-week program which includes some activities like the IT training, the skill training, and many others, climaxing it with a program by Brave Foundation to empower ladies of Kanasa. The Commission as well unveiled its cloth, and also our vetting and election process was a success. Thank you.
You're welcome. Honorable Gideon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Gideon J. Misunderstanding, between yourself and I. And truth be told, I will say that today what I witnessed, I am very, very happy with regards to your leadership. And kudos to you. All right, so moving forward, we are the fourth administration. And when we came to meet Kanasa, trust me, you all bear witness the state of the college. And with the help of my vice president and general secretary, my co-executives, we've done massively well. And I'm proud of that. I think last 2 weeks, yes, we did a program called Kanasa Talk, and that's a maiden program. The program is about inviting personnel in the college, alumni, and also those who are outside the college that are doing well in the agric industry, to come and motivate students, to come and inspire in them why they should enter into agric and natural resource after school. And the last thing that we unveiled during the program is a Kanasa cloth, where we gave the college an identity, because there is nothing that actually depicts the image of the college. So we decided to bring something out called the college cloth that actually has the logo of the college and also the name of the college. Our first State of Src Address, I also tendered in some concerns from my college. And trust me, I'm a bit disappointed about the fact that the older administration has decided to turn deaf ears about it. I don't know if you are not considering our college members or not. I don't know. So I want to hear from our SRC president, our next sitting, that the concerns that I brought has been attended to. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Honorable Isaiah.
Thank you very much, Speaker in the House. My name is Honorable Amumensa Isaiah, CISA President, and I must say the SRC President is doing a good job, and I'll commend him for that. Today I'm very sad, you know me very well, and then looking at how I'm speaking, you know that I'm really in a sad mood, in the sense that we look in the house today and we realize that one of the greatest members of this house is not around, in the person of Honorable Michael Aboa, who is the past CISA president, a very visionary leader, a student leader who has always had the students' interest at heart. He has always been the voice for the students, and I think CISANs will always attest to that fact. Personally, filling these shoes is very, very big for me. In fact, It feels so heavy, but I'll try my best to represent the voice that he represented in this parliament, to be the voice that he was for the college and then the school as a whole. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Phoebe.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Speaker of the House. I am Honorable Phoebe and I'm representing the Sita constituency. I bring you greetings from the best college in KNUST. I'd like to thank the SRC president and his very hardworking executives for the good work they are doing for KNUST. I must say CISA is doing very well under the Abba-led administration, which is now the Isaiah-led administration. By God's grace, last semester we were able to complete 90% of our promises that we made to the good people of CISA. The semester so far has been good with very impactful programs, some of which are the Ended Right conference organized for our dear finalists in the college, the Prof. Amekuji quiz, which happened last week. And again, the Wismatics is a skills training program organized by the Women's Commission. Mr. Speaker, it will excite you to know that my beautifully styled hair is a product of the Wismatic training I got from the training I got from the Wismatic. Yeah, the wig making category. Elections has been successfully conducted in CISA, and then we look forward to doing more for our constituents in the coming week. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Phoebe. We'll move to in with Honorable Salma.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker of the House. I am Salamat Idrisu, a member of Parliament for the Africa Hall constituency. I'd like to say, Alhamdulillah, it's been great so far. Africa Hall has been doing good. When we've been able to secure first aid boxes for some of the floors. I think a big one for the middle floor amongst all the 16 floors. And also we've had donation to King James Orphanage, followed by entrepreneurship program, which will also be followed by a skills fair soon. And also would like to, there's this grievance, as to whether we would have our usual whole week program or there's going to be a guideline as to how the whole caucus can have some major programs this semester. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Priscilla.
Member of Parliament for Africa Hall. I would first of all like to commend the SRC for the good work we are doing. Mr. Speaker, my constituency is doing well, as you heard from my president. We had our birthday last Saturday, and we are looking forward to having a peaceful election. I would say Africa Hall has been able to come this far by the grace of God. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Abeye.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker, the House. I am Abeye Sapon Kingsley, MP for Unity Hall constituency. I would like to commend the good works of the KNUST-TEK. Mr. Speaker, I would like to inform this August House about a recent achievement by Unity Hall. I'm happy to inform this August House that Unity Hall has won the historic third trophy of RP4 Memorial Debate Tournament.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, Koti, I would like to put it on record that as it stands now, Unity Hall is the first and only hall in KNUST to win the RP 4 Memorial Debate Tournament 3 times, having been the defending champion. Thank you.
Honorable Edmund.
Mr. Speaker, the House. I'm Edmund Kwakubuati, University Hall President. I would like to firstly commend the SRC on their good work so far. In University Hall, we are planning and having works to establish a welfare fund, that is the Katanga Solidarity Fund, to cater for the needs of the residents in terms of their health, academic, and social life. And we hope it goes well and then things will go well for us.
Action Day.
Action Day. Again, we're lamenting about water issues quite a few weeks ago. And for some time now, we have a stable water supply. We hope it continues. Mr. Speaker, today, we supported the SRC on the Green Ghana project in planting trees all around campus. Mr. Speaker, lastly, I'd like to draw our attention to the speed ramps on campus. It is mostly worn out of place, and very dangerous to students on campus. It's a project dear to our heart, we in the University Hall, and we hope all the necessary stakeholders will pay attention and work on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, the House, I am Samuel Ademensa, University Hall General Secretary. I would like to commend Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Christian Anderson, for helping us. As we came here as green people to the Parliament, he has been the one to help us through all the processes, and now I feel we are okay. I'd also commend the SRC for their good work done, especially with the 5 gig. And one thing I'm really surprised about is that they're talking to MTN to subsidize some of the bundles for us. But then I'd also want to alert them that in as much as we have the 5 gig, what is the essence of getting data without faster connection? So people off campus, you can get the 5 gig, but then always be a key and sometimes no service. So if they could speak to the Vodafone people for us and they could lay cables or whatever they can do to make the internet move faster. Also with off campus, I'm really impressed about they trying to form a watchdog community. But then apparently we shouldn't always make it about exam period. It should be something, we should be there always. It shouldn't only be exam period, because students move around each and every time, not only exam period. So if that one too is also checked for us, we will be okay. And with the shuttles too, they increase the number of shuttles for us, but then with the same thing, it shouldn't be exam period, because now boats are not being allowed to go to the colleges. So if we make them only about exam period, we really suffer. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Honorable Josephine. Honorable members, kindly turn off your microphone if you're not speaking. Okay. All right,
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Josephine.
the House, I would like to say I equal to the SRC for the good work they started and the good work they are doing. Also, I want to move on to the halls. I would want to talk about the fact that we are waiting for an approval whether to start preparations for our hall week or not. Because we want to know our stand so as to make plans towards it. Also, we'll talk about a problem we had I want to talk about a problem we had Republic Hall had, and we took measures and we want other halls to follow suit. So during Lighthouse, it takes some time before the plants come on. So students who use the staircases do not really have light on it, and someone ended up breaking his or her leg, their leg. So as Queen's Hall, the best hall, we actually took measures to curb this. We made sure we purchased emergency bulbs. I mean the solar. Yeah, so immediately the light goes out, they come on. So every staircase is powered with light. Yeah. Also, water issues, we solve them in our hall, and we make sure that our next has water 24/7, same as all the other parts of the hall. Also, we are working on a royal garden, which is situated around the annex, so that they could also have a place to wash, hang their stuff nicely, just as the main. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Honorable Nelson.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I would want to commend the SRC President and his able executives for the good work done, and we pray the Almighty God takes them through. I would also want to congratulate the National NUP President-elect and the USAC General Secretary-elect for their successes. Regarding Point 4, we've been able to successfully go through our vetting process. That was last week Sunday, and today we had a successful manifesto reading. We are hoping to get a successful election process that next week. Also, we are about completing our Royal Garden project, and we'll be soon in full function. And we're also planning on having a general assembly soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Gloria.
Mr. Speaker, the House, greetings of the Premier Hall. I'm in the person of Gloria Noche, Independent Hall General Secretary. Would first and foremost give thanks to Almighty God for how far He has brought us, and also congratulate the SRC President and his able executives for their success gained. Also congratulate we the parliamentarians for the good work they are doing so far at our various constituencies. My constituency will be having the vetting of the aspirant, God willing, tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Honorable Gloria. Honorable Bismarck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Muntaka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker of the House. I will say thank you to the SRC for the good work done so far, particularly pertaining to the increase of the Vodafone bundle to 5 gig, and then championing the approval of developmental aid bills such as the SRC Health Support Bill. I'll say thank you. And then to my noble, able parliamentarians, I'll say Ayuko, in the words of our council, I'll say money or Siadio. Because you've been able to pass most of the bills, and then I'm very happy with that. At Independence Hall, everything is moving on smoothly. This year, our target was for infrastructural development. And as I'm speaking to you, tomorrow, commencement of renovation is taking place at Independence Hall, pertaining to our GCRC office and our TV room. On the other side, my humble plea is that the SRC deliberate on behalf of the various halls, at least for us to organize educative programs in replace of the various hall week. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right. So before we move on to any other credible business, I'll touch on a few things that need clarity, as was put on the floor, as was advanced on the floor. Yes. So with regards to particularly the traffic light project at Kote, the Honorable MP for Kote, soon to be Kote Junior constituency, raised this matter. And an update on that project is just as when this whole 5 gig initiative started, for a very long while, students felt the promises that we are on the project were lies until it finally came. I remember at the very last SCC, when we made mention it had been delivered, a lot of students were in doubt. This is another similar activity that we have pushed and is still in the pipeline. Specifically, the head of the cadets for armed forces, who doubles as the head of SRC security head, was tasked to make inquiries from the HOD for the physics department concerning the traffic light. Down the line, we were informed that intersections of the Kote station nature would have to have bus stops stationed close to them if we can have any traffic lights mounted there. A typical example is Agrek Junction. You realize there's a traffic light there, but there are two bus stops stationed close to that traffic light junction. And so matter was referred to the Ministry of Roads and Highways, that is the Urban Roads Department. And matters of creating new areas at places where people are living would have a lot of litigation. And so it would only be the government that can step in and speak on this matter. And so as it stands, it has been referred to the ministry. They are taking the measures to come, assess the area, and speak to the inhabitants, those whose homes may be affected should bus stops be constructed. So that is the update. That is where the project has gotten to. The SRC has not forgotten. The SRC is still pushing on that promise that they made. And so we are hoping that things fall through as soon as possible. All right. Then, on all the other matters, where necessary, the President has taken note. I'm sure we'll be counting on you, Mr. President, to push those matters for us. Finally, from Parliament, very soon we'll be launching a campaign on campus, a campaign on dressing decently and properly to class. This has been a matter that was raised at several meetings we have had. And so our parliamentarians would, with our executives, of course, would take the lead and show us how we could dress decently, because how you dress is how you're going to be addressed. And so in the coming weeks, students should expect that we will launch a campaign on dressing properly to class as the 12th Parliament for the SRC. I'll now open the floor for any other credible business. I'll take maximum one from every caucus. If there are none, the clerk will proceed and give announcements. Then we can move for the adjournment of today's sitting. Any other credible business? Honorable Bismarck. Okay. All right.
Speaker was an error.
It was.
The light was on.
Any other credible business? All right, Honorable, noted. All right, Madam Clerk, kindly give us announcements if there are any. Any announcements, please? Okay, then. All right, Right Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker of the House, my honorable member drew my attention to something Honorable Papatechi said the other time. He was talking about the bad nature of the engineering road. He made mention that whenever it rains, the road is in a very deplorable state, and it's not the very best. So if they can do something about it, it will go a long way to help us all. And secondly, if we can get a security post at the IDRC gate, because most public transport, locally called trotro, yes, they turn the place into a bus stop and load passengers there, which causes a lot of traffic at the IDRC gate, just around Kanasa. Yes. So please, if they can get a security check, that will be effective. Because most of the time, the security men go there and they go and sit somewhere. Some end up becoming friends with the drivers and they allow them to do what they do. So if you can send efficient security men there, I think that will go a long way to solve some issues. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Any other credible business? Honorable Bismarck.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker of the House. Although the UNRC constitution has been approved, we don't know whether it's illegal or legal. Because we don't know
whether it's
illegal or legal, the constitution.
Okay.
Because there's no referendum being held. And so I don't know whether it's being held in our absence or we don't
all right.
know.
So on matters of passing a new constitution for a body that exists within Parliament, the legal advice we sought, both from the university and from the SRC legal counsel, made it explicitly clear that there would be no need for a referendum. I believe this was discussed at the sitting that we had when we were passing the constitution, and so I'll serve this as a gentle reminder that there is no need for such a referendum.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I've already, okay. Provided there's no concern from non-residential caucus, I'll take one from college. Is there any concern? All right, then I'll stick to one from every caucus. All right, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to draw the attention of the SRC President and his able executives to an issue we have within my constituency. I've realized that for most of the halls now, I've realized that water issues have been a bit stable as we made deliberations on it. But for my constituency, for some hostels, Brunei Complex, Baby Brunei, there have still been water issues to the extent that my room is more of now a bathing situation or a bathing stop where people have to come and then bath over there because there is no water flowing within their rooms. So we've made some deliberations and we've spoken to the Vice Dean and the Dean of Students, and I'd hope that the SRC President can follow up on this for me also to also help solve the situation. And also, I'd like to ask and plead that with the same energy that was given to the Kenton Kwame MP to help solve these security issues within their constituency, there are also security issues on campus also. Recently, unfortunately, a friend of mine died on the Hinton Road where an accident happened, and then one clear issue there was no street lights.
Okay.
You get it? No speed ramps to actually control the speed at which a car moves.
Okay.
And then these are issues that I hope that with the help of the SRC President, he can help me solve these things. Thank you very much.
All right, and so because of the time, I agreed to only allow one from every caucus, and so I'm sorry. But to put some clarity to the matter of the road, there's a committee that has been set up. I think, Honorable Member, you are aware of the committee. And so in the coming days, they are going to work on placing measures to curb any further incident of such nature. Okay, all right. Leadership, kindly introduce yourself, and if there's any announcement you give, then we can move for the adjournment of today's sitting.
Emmanuel Akosa Brempo, Marshal of Parliament.
Sasraku Gipti, Clerk of Parliament.
Aloboya, you are Deputy Clerk of Parliament.
Precious Mary Burfoot, Deputy Protocol Head.
All right. Is there any announcement, Madam Clerk?
Yeah, but like all parliamentarians to remain seated after leadership has filed out.
Okay. I think for my Gamsu choir and invited guests as well, please remain seated so we sort out our departure, our exit from the chamber. All right. An honorable member should kindly move for the adjournment of today's sitting. Honorable Phoebe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, Honorable Phoebe Ettenham, without any further discussion, move for the adjournment of this meeting till further date.
All right. Thank you. Any member to second? Honorable Gideon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Before I second the motion, I would like to inform I know there is motion on the floor, but please, this is a very important thing, and I would like us to discuss it before I move. Please, we are almost halfway the semester, and the SRC Financial Secretary is yet to present a budget to the floor of Parliament. And I don't know when. We are waiting for it. Without any discussion, I would like to move or second the motion that was moved. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Any member against the motion? Any member against the motion? All right. Then we'll put the motion to vote. Order of vote cast is by voice acclamation. So as many members as are in support of the motion for the adjournment of today's sitting, kindly give me an aye. As many honorable members as are against the motion for the adjournment of today's sitting, kindly give me a nay. All right, the ayes have it. And so we'll take the closing prayer. Then please ensure that we obey protocol when we are filing out of the house. Closing prayers. O God, grant us a vision of our university, fair as it might be, a university of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a university of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a university of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a university of peace, where the SRC shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of KNUST, Ghana, and Africa. Amen. We'll now proceed to move out of the house. All right.
Mr. Speaker,
Hello, hello.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker of Parliament.